back to the Sports Wrap. It is a New Year's Day special with Yianni Gresh. What are we doing here on this holiday? We've been doing this long enough.
Normally it's, we're getting ready for the next layup, and the Patriots are off, and no, not this time around. They got a real problem.
Don't the Pats know that we didn't want to work today?
Yeah, hell no.
Come on.
No, I'm sure they didn't want to either, believe me. There were probably a couple of vacations that were already scheduled in that had been blown up.
So I want to start there. I just mentioned this in my piece before, that Bill Belichick, first thing he said the other day is the Pats have had a good attitude. So he knew that they could have moped around all week, but they had to turn their attention quickly to Tennessee. From a mindset perspective, where are they at?
Well, I hope that it's the veterans leading the way and saying, look, we've still had a great year because, 12-4 is nothing to sneeze at, Yianni. However, I was disappointed that the veterans, I think at halftime of that game against Miami, wasn't able to sort of corral this group and focus them and get them to where they needed to be. So I am a little concerned about the attitude and the oomph to and the want to. But I think there are a lot of guys who are also like Kyle Van Noy who are playing for contracts maybe somewhere else. So I think everybody's got enough to play for to be focused enough to win this game. After that, it's are they good enough to win the game?
All right, so I want to go back to last year where they had some struggles in December, won the last 2 games, and then mopped the floor with the Chargers. Is this team able to turn it on like that, or is what we've seen from them enough to tell you it's not going to be like last year where they'll roll us?
It's not going to be like last year. This is going to be a fight against the Titans. This is going to be bowling shoe ugly type of game. And I think that's the way the Patriots play this year. Look, Brady in the offense, for as much as they're maligned, gave the defense the lead against Miami. So the strength of the football team had to come through one time, one drive to validate what would have been a great season, and we would feel very differently about this team. So all is not lost, but the way they play, it's complementary football, and if all 3 phases aren't interwoven within each other and playing great, they're not going to win games in the playoffs.
All right, to be perfectly honest with you, I haven't watched a ton of Titans games because they've been average and not on national TV. So as we're all doing our homework this week, why is Ryan Tannehill so much better this year than with the previous 7 with Miami?
It's real simple. They're not asking him to throw the ball 30 to 35 times a game in Tennessee, Yianni, the way they were in Miami, where they were trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. Mike Vrabel knew what he had walking in the door, and they've asked him to do what he can do accordingly. The other thing, too, is Ryan Tannehill coming out of college was a wide receiver and had played wide receiver, then went to quarterback, was drafted as a quarterback. But he's athletic as all get out. And he's somewhere in between Josh Allen and a Lamar Jackson in that he's got enough wiggle to make you miss. He's big where he's tough to tackle. But I think they're not asking him to do anything he can't do, whereas in Miami, they were trying to turn him into something that he couldn't be.
Mike Vrabel, did you put much stock into Patriot disciple, unafraid of the Pats, all that stuff?
Yeah, absolutely, because he's also got guys on that football team who know what it's like to be a part of a world champion in New England, and when they're a wounded animal, and right now to every opponent, the Patriots are a wounded animal. So there's going to be a lot of guys in that room, Logan Ryan, Dion Lewis, people like that, who are going to be saying, listen, we shouldn't be afraid of this group. They're in the wild card round for a reason. Let's not be afraid of these guys.
All right, good stuff with Yianni Gresh. We'll be back tomorrow night and, of course, on our pregame show Saturday before the game. Much more in the Sports Wrap.